What is going on, everyone? This is Zach back here with another episode of Clutch Crew Sports. And here in today's episode, we have Mock Draft 1.0. I'm super excited to do this mock draft with the crew, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let me introduce you guys to the rest of our crew.
Yo, guys, what is going on? This is Eric, your ranting co-host here. Excited to do this mock draft. I've got some teams I'm picking for that I'm pretty cool with, other teams not quite as cool with, but I'm going to do my best to fill these needs or get the best available players depending on how it plays out for your favorite team. So if you're a fan of any of the teams that I pick for, hopefully you'll like my picks.
What is going on, guys? It is Connor, the co-host with the most, back from a one-episode absence, and definitely a much-needed absence. I was happy to have it after recording 2 podcasts and a tier list in a week. That was pretty brutal, but I'm back now. I'm ready to do this thing, and I probably have the most interesting and mystery pick of the draft early on with the number 3 pick, so I've been thinking about it a lot, so the guys will finally get to find out who I take.
What's up, guys? It's Nate here. Looking forward to getting this mock draft. Doing this tonight. Looking forward to getting the actual draft night upon us, because there's been a lot of crazy takes on Twitter, especially with Trevor Lawrence and all the quarterbacks at the top of the draft. And there's been some crazy things I've been seeing. So I'm ready to get all this finally done and behind us, and see where all the players finally land.
I agree with you, Nate. I think you saw that tweet that I posted. I won't even get into it. They don't deserve attention, but you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Everybody here knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're listening, you're probably like, what? But anyways, before we start this mock draft, I have a couple of important announcements to give everybody before we get the mock draft started. So first of all, I want to say that we are bringing the Clutch Crew Sports Discord back to life. So we used to have one a while ago. It's came and passed, but we are redesigning it, reworking it. So we have a brand new Discord out, and the links to join that will be in the description. We'll be posting it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social medias to join our Discord. And really, it's going to be a fun place to communicate. We're going to have places in the Discord where you can ask us questions that we can cover on the episode, leave topic ideas, just have general sports discussion and other things on there as well. So I'm really excited to bring the Discord back, and I hope you guys can join it and have a lot of fun in it. And then secondly, what we're going to be doing, we've never done this before, but we are actually going to be doing a YouTube live stream of the NFL draft, the first round of the NFL draft, April 29th at 7:45 p.m. Tune into that. Of course, when it comes out, we're going to share it on all the socials, and we'll be in a live stream on YouTube so we can see your comments live. And we're basically going to be covering the draft and all the picks in the first round with the crew. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to do that. And yeah, let's get ready for the mock draft now, guys.
We managed to figure out all the technical bugs, hopefully. So
yeah, like I said, this is our first time ever doing a live stream, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully well. Let's get things started off now, guys, with Mock Draft 1.0. Now, I will put a quick clarification here. We are doing this Mock Draft 1.0 with no trades. So we're going to be doing another mock draft next week, the week right before the draft. And that mock draft, we are going to have trades in. But for this one, we decided we're not going to have trades. Just keep it simple. And we have a predetermined draft order. Basically, the 4 of us are going to snake draft through this. Or I guess
not quite a snake,
yeah.
But
just kind of go through 1 through 4 for these different teams. So coincidence, I have the number 1 pick here. There we go. Gotta have the draft. All right. So with the first pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson.
What, Zach? You're such an idiot for doing that.
Yeah. So we have Lawrence going number 1 overall. Like, that's not even a discussion or a debate. I know that there's been a lot of, like Nate was referring to, a lot of people like, ooh, Lawrence, not so sure, number 1. But I
Don't
can
you want to
assure
let him
you,
fall to me?
I can assure you guys, this is the biggest no-brainer in the draft since Andrew Luck. And I would even say maybe that was more up in the air because RG3, some people are like RG3. But I think with this draft, it's obviously Trevor Lawrence. I don't really want to keep talking about this as much, but we all know it's going to happen. We're all going to do this in our mock drafts and get at least 1 pick right. So you're stupid if you don't get 1 pick right in this mock draft. And I will pass it over to Connor now for the 2nd pick.
Actually,
I mean, Eric.
Eric.
My bad.
Zach, get it right.
Chill.
Whoa there, Zach.
All
Zach
right,
is so interested to see who I take at 3 that he wants to skip
I
over
know.
Eric.
He's
Yeah,
ready for it. He's ready for it. Well, as the Jets GM, I'm really glad that the Jaguars did take Trevor Lawrence, because if they didn't take him, I would have been in a state of panic and not really known what to do. So thankfully, since I would have been like, whoa, I don't know, but luckily, because we've been scouting this guy and we really want him, so no need to make a debate or have to try to figure it out. We're going with quarterback Zach Wilson
From BYU.
BYU, yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so
now the moment we've all been
Eric
waiting for here.
Eric gave the speech before the pick. That was interesting.
well, my speech is going to come before the pick too. So, yeah, I definitely didn't think I would spend this much time on this pick, but I definitely pondered over this pick a lot. There's obviously the 49ers. We know they traded up to get a quarterback. There's 3 quarterbacks available right now: Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. I went back and forth on who I wanted. I even tried to contemplate, like, oh, should I take someone else? But I can't really justify taking Kyle Pitts or Penei Sewell at this spot, considering we have studs at both of those positions already. And we specifically traded up to get a quarterback. So I went back and forth. I eliminated Mac Jones pretty early in my discussion, so he's not going to be the pick here. But I went back and forth between the other 2. It took me a while. I finally came to a decision, though, that even though I don't really like him as much, and I think this is a bit early to be picking him, but this is what we came here to do, so I have to take the quarterback out of Ohio State, Justin Fields.
Okay. Suspenseful there, but Fields is off the board.
Yeah, I definitely went back and forth between him and Trey Lance. Like, I thought about it for a while, but I was just like, I can't pass up on Justin Fields right here. Like, I feel like it would just seem really weird to take Trey Lance at number 3. So,
yeah, definitely, dude. Okay, so that means Nate has the 4th pick now for the Falcons. Nate, I'll leave it up to you. This could be a lot of things, but what's it going to be?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like the Falcons, with the top 3 quarterbacks off the board here, I feel like they could trade down on the real draft night. But since we're not doing that, and this draft is straight up picks, I think we're going to go with the best player available here, in my opinion, in Kyle Pitts. And since none of the quarterbacks are really worth taking to get a replacement for Matt Ryan, I feel like with this pick, so might as well keep Ryan around and get him another weapon for that offense to try and keep putting up some numbers.
Yeah, I figured you'd do that when because I knew that if I took Lance, you'd probably take Fields at 4, so we'd have top 4 QBs. But I was like, since I'm taking Fields, I'm guessing that you were going to take Pitts.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we are back around now. I have another pick. I'm picking for the Cincinnati Bengals, so I know what I'm going to do with this. Nobody's taken the person the Bengals wanted. We have our quarterback fixed with Joe Burrow, and now I think it's about there's obviously lots of needs on this team, but the one I think that's going to be most important and most crucial for him going forward is going to be to get the building block offensive lineman here. Penei Sewell from Oregon is going to be the pick. Sewell, I think, is going to be a stud left tackle in this league for decades, and you want to have your quarterback protected. It's the most important position on the field and in football. Eric will know what I'm talking about. But
God.
So to keep him protected, you need to get an offensive lineman. I think where they're picking here to get Sewell, he's definitely going to be the pick in my opinion for the Bengals. So turn it over to Eric for number 6 with Miami.
All right. I had a feeling that Sewell was going to be gone. That's who as a Dolphins GM here, that's who I really would have liked to have gotten. I don't feel like any of the other O linemen, though, are on Sewell's level. So I'm going to go into a different area. Instead of getting to a protector like the Bengals just did for Burrow, I'm going to get him a weapon instead, and I'm going to take Devontae Smith out of Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, these wide receivers, I think the order is definitely we might be in for a shock. So, yeah, Smith going 6. That's not something you usually see in the mock drafts, though. So, Eric getting a little creative. I like it.
I know he's not deemed like the number one.
Yeah,
receiver,
he won the Heisman, though.
Looking at what he did last year, I don't see how he's not the best wide receiver. So, if I was a Dolphins fan, I would be pretty ecstatic if this happens.
For sure, dude. Okay, Connor, you've got pick 7 with Detroit. There's still some QBs left. There's wide receivers, defensive players. No defensive players have gone yet. So what's going to happen here?
Well, there are QBs available, but with Justin Fields off the board, I still think it's too early to take Mac Jones or Trey Lance. So I am going to actually follow Eric's lead and get our new quarterback, Jared Goff, a weapon. And Eric thinks that Devontae Smith is the best wide receiver in the draft, and, it's fair. There's an argument there, but I'm going to take who I think is the best wide receiver in the draft, and that is his running mate at Alabama, Jalen Waddle.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, so 2 Alabama receivers go back-to-back there at pick 6 and 7. Nate, you have the next pick here for the Carolina Panthers. They brought in Sam Darnold. There's still some quarterbacks left. I don't know if that's what you're going to go with here, but let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, so few places the Panthers could go here. Those top two of the top guys off the board at wide receiver. Kind of a little run going on there. I think the Panthers, if I was the Panthers, I would get the next best guy here. Take Jamar Chase off the board there at wide receiver before, it seems like in this situation, teams are going to be going that wide receiver heavy, and Kyle Pitts is gone too. I think Carolina might as well go and get another weapon for Sam Darnold to try and see if he can turn his career around there.
All right, so 3 receivers back to back there. And now I've got pick 9 with Denver. It's real interesting what Denver's going to do. I do think Denver's going to end up trading up in the draft in real life, but for this mock draft, they didn't have to trade up because there's still some QBs on the board. And I'm going to go Mac Jones, guys. I think Mac Jones is the 4th best QB in this draft, and I think that him falling to 9, not having to trade up, the Denver Broncos are going to be real happy they get another quarterback in there, because I believe Drew Lock is not going to be the answer for him. So get a quarterback now and see what happens in a couple years from now with Mac Jones. Eric, you've got your second favorite team, the Cowboys, to pick next here. No defensive players have gone yet. Is it going to change here?
Yeah, Susan's looking at me like, you better not mess this up. You better give my team a good player. And don't worry, Susan, I made sure as the GM of the Cowboys, I made sure I had a plan. And I will say, if we were doing trades, I would be pretty ecstatic if I was in this position with Trey Lance still available, because I could probably get a team to trade up with me and I could trade down and get some more picks. But since we're doing no trades, there is a defender on the board that I really like, and I'm sticking with Alabama again, and I'm going to take Patrick Surtain, the cornerback. The Cowboys have struggled with secondary for a long time. And then when they finally got like a resemblance of a good secondary, most of them left for other teams. So they really need to rebuild this secondary, and he's going to be a perfect option here.
Yeah, I definitely like the pick. It seems like in a lot of mock drafts, Surtain goes to the Cowboys here at 10. So definitely another one that I think is going to be a popular pick. The New York Giants, division rival to the Cowboys, are up next with Connor picking. So Connor, what are the New York Giants going to do there?
Well, I will say I am really happy, actually, as the Giants right now, because someone is still on the board here that I didn't think was going to be on the board at this point. There's a lot of mock drafts right now that have the Giants taking someone like Rashawn Slater or possibly like Kwity Paye at this spot, mainly because there's one guy who's off the board already in all these mock drafts, but is still here in this one. So if I'm the Giants, I am ecstatic that this man is still on the board. He's going to be a cornerstone of our defense for years to come, and that is going to be Micah Parsons from Penn State.
Yeah, I thought about Parsons with Denver, but I had the quarterback there.
I know. I was like, when you didn't pick him, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Giants would be happy about this one.
All right, so Nate, you have your third pick now in the draft with the Philadelphia Eagles. So looking at the board now, some people have gone. Eagles, of course, traded back. They were originally at pick 6, but where is your pick going to be for the Eagles, Nate?
Yeah, so I think the Eagles obviously have a lot of holes. Biggest spot I would like to address with them be wide receiver, but seeing as all those top guys are off the board, there's not really one I could justify spending a pick on here. So I think the Eagles should go with J.C. Horn, the quarterback out of South Carolina here. They've really got to beef up that back end, especially with Jalen Mills going to New England this offseason. They've got some more holes back there, even worse than they already did. So definitely got to address the defense there.
All right, so starting to see some defenders go in this draft, and I am now picking for the LA Chargers at pick 13. Kind of like Connor, I'm a little surprised he's still here, but I'm glad he is, and I'm gonna make this pick worth it. I'm gonna take Rashawn Slater, the tackle from Northwestern. The second offensive tackle here at 13, I think, is a steal. And similarly to the Bengals, I have both the Bengals and Chargers picks. I think offensive line is a huge need for them. Protect your young quarterbacks, and it's great to have receivers and defensive guys, but offensive line, man, I always say you should draft them in the first round, because they're usually not busts in the first round. It happens sometimes, but typically they're pretty solid cornerstone franchise players. So I'm happy to get Slater for the Chargers, and Eric is now picking for the Minnesota Vikings here at 14 as we are moving through this draft.
Well, for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm just going to give a quick dang it to you, Zach, for taking him. Rashawn, yeah, idiot. No, obviously it wasn't idiot, 'cause that's who I wanted. But so O-line is a big need for the Vikings. I talked about that with them last week for the biggest needs episode. So it would be kind of hypocritical of me to say that was a huge need for them and then not grab one in the draft. So I'm going to settle for the next best thing, and that's going to be Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. So he started off kind of weak in college, but he has improved over time. And with Riley Reif being gone, the Vikings really need to get offensive tackle. So that's who we're going to go with here.
All right, and that leaves Connor here with an interesting selection if he chooses to go this way. He's picking 15 overall for the New England Patriots. So, Connor, you're picking for Nate's team here. What's it going to be?
I am. Well, I better make it good because he's picking for my team later. So, very interesting pick by Eric there. I think that was a little bit of a reach on the part of the Vikings. But as the Patriots, I will say I wanted to get J.C. Horn. I feel like he would have been a good piece. Obviously, Micah Parsons would have been good, but he's already gone. All of the top receivers are off. So I guess with this pick, all that's left for me to do is to take the final quarterback off the board and take Trey Lance.
All right, so let's get some instant reaction. Nate, are you a fan of this pick?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here's going to go. I think that would be if all those top guys at the positions he mentioned are off the board. I would definitely like them to take a flyer on somebody like Lance.
So I know you had Lance rated as your 5th quarterback, though, Nate. Are you still like happy about this? And obviously, the fan in you would be, but do you think that this would be realistic? Like, if Lance is here at 15, you think there's no way that Belichick passes on him?
I mean, I don't know. They've done some crazy things, obviously, in the past. I think they were at his. I want to say they're at his pro day, his second one today. They had somebody there. So it seems like they definitely are doing their work on all the quarterbacks. I would definitely like him over Mac Jones. I know I had Jones ranked higher, but I think for the Pat situation, I feel like Trey Lance has a lot more upside, and he can sit behind Cam, hopefully for this year. And I think his upside is a lot higher than Mac Jones, but I think Jones could come and kind of start right away if he needed to. But I think at pick 15, I would definitely not be opposed to getting a quarterback to develop there.
Okay, I see. And speaking of you, Nate, you also have pick 16 for the Arizona Cardinals now. So where are the Arizona Cardinals going to go in this mock draft?
Yes, that's one I've kind of been thinking about a little bit, kind of having a tricky time here. Kind of got a few different places they could go, but I'm thinking, shoot. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go with a guy I'm looking at a little bit at O-line. Elijah, I think I'm saying this right. Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. I just think that obviously Kyler Murray's a mobile quarterback. He can get away from edge rushers pretty good, but I think having some more protection up front to make his job a little bit easier, especially with him being a smaller guy, would definitely, I think, go a long way. Especially you've seen like with Russell Wilson being the most sacked quarterback in the NFL over the last however many years. Even being fast doesn't help you avoid those guys all the time. So I think I definitely shouldn't, use that as an excuse not to give him some help here.
Yeah, all right. So Vera Tucker goes to the Cardinals. I think that's definitely realistic, for sure. And I am picking next for the Las Vegas Raiders. So this is a fun team to pick for because they have a lot of needs on defense, and there's a lot of defenders still in this draft that the Raiders could be interested in. I feel like the Raiders are definitely going to draft someone out of left field, though, like someone we thought would be in the second round, a second-round pick. I feel like is who they're really going to take in the draft.
Gruden does all the time.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna like reach or anything. I'm going to take the first defensive lineman in this draft. I'm going to take Kwity Paye, the edge rusher from Michigan. The Raiders brought in Yannick Ngakoue, but he's definitely purely a pass rushing 4-3 end, and with Paye, I think you're getting a better, more versatile player at that position. And other than Ngakoue, they were last, or they were in the bottom of the rankings in sacks last year. Ever since getting rid of Khalil Mack in that trade, the Raiders have had no pass rush, and I think Paye is going to be really good for him here, and we'll get them some sacks because their defense was putrid last year. Eric, you're picking now at number 18 for Miami. Quick little reminder here for you guys. Miami, who Eric has picked for before in this mock draft, already has Devontae Smith. So keep that in mind. You've already drafted Devontae Smith for this team. So where is pick 18 going to be, Eric?
I just got to say, first of all, Zach, I'm really glad that I'm not the GMs of any of these teams, like within these, like, if this were to happen in real life, because literally you've sniped the person I've wanted all 3 times before my pick. I mean, really, even the first one, technically. I mean, obviously Trevor is going to the Jags.
Well, obviously you knew that was going to happen, though.
Yeah, that one I knew was going to happen, and then the Sewell one I kind of figured would happen, but then literally the next 2 after that, it's still happening. I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
I guess he didn't snipe Mac Jones from you, though, because Dallas wasn't going to take Mac Jones.
Yeah. No, that one wasn't a snipe. But no, yeah, I wanted
Slater.
I wanted Slater, and then I wanted Kwity Paye. I wanted both of them. So, who am I? This is very.
Well, I will say you better not snipe who I want.
Well, I don't know if that'll happen or not, but
I don't think so, honestly.
Probably not, but I don't know, because like I had the Dolphins team needs last episode as well, just like the Vikings, and I mentioned wide receiver, and then I mentioned edge rusher. I don't know if Zach like re-listened to that, and that's why he made these picks right before.
No, I didn't have any. I'm not conspiring against you, Eric. Don't worry.
No. So, yes, that obviously put me in a bind there, but we're going to stick with edge rusher. I'm sticking with what I felt like we need. According to like our rankings and everything, Jalen Phillips is the next best one available, but I'm a little concerned with his concussion history that he's had and everything, and he briefly stopped playing football and stuff like that. That is very concerning. And so I'm going to take, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but I'm going to take Azeez Ojulari. From what I'm reading about him, he's a great speed edge rusher. He might be kind of similar to like a Yannick Ngakoue or something like that if he's a speed rusher. Might be liable against the run, but, you know, get him in obvious passing situations, and I feel like he'll get some results for us.
Okay. I had to check the spelling there a couple times on that one, but I think you said it right. Ojulari, I think is how you say it.
Georgia fan. I know Susan's brother's a Bulldogs fan. If I pronounced it wrong, please don't kill me. I'm sorry.
Okay, so pick number 19 here goes to the Washington football team, and Connor is going to make that pick.
Yeah, this is definitely a bit of a tough one for me because I wanted to take Elijah Vera Tucker. And, you know, the biggest need for the Washington football team right now is offensive line. So Vera Tucker would have been nice. Christian Darrisaw would have been nice at this spot. A little bit lower, but I guess, and also all of the, Kyle Pitts isn't here. That's a big need for the Washington football team right now as tight end. Obviously, we knew he wouldn't be here, though. So the only other real big need right now for the Washington football team is really at the linebacker position. It's more of the kind of like the off-ball linebacker position is what they really need at the moment. They definitely don't need edge rushers because Chase Young and Montez Sweat are great. But I know he's listed. It's funny because on some of the mock drafts I've seen, he's been listed as an edge rusher, but that's definitely not the case. Like, he may have played that a little bit in college, but he said when he comes to the NFL, he wants to go back to his traditional position of off-the-ball linebacker. So I'm going to take Zaven Collins from Tulsa.
Yeah, he's an American Athletic Conference guy, so Nate and I know about the Tulsa team. They've been really good, much better than they used to be. And Collins has been a good player for them as well. So good, solid pick there for Washington. And Nate, you've got the next pick here for the Chicago Bears at pick 20. So what's this one going to be?
Yeah, so I think the Bears have a pretty straightforward need here. I'm going to go with Rashad Bateman, the wide receiver out of Minnesota. With obviously they've got Allen Robinson back this year, but it sounds like he's going to be out of there by next year. I I don't see how they're gonna get him committed to a a long-term deal there. And they also just lost Cordero Patterson to the Falcons, and I've heard that Anthony Miller could be on the trade block. I don't know what the status is of that, but another wide receiver there would definitely go a long way with whoever's taking over there under center, whether that's Andy Dalton or whoever they decide to go with. But they're definitely gonna need some help there.
Yeah, definitely an uncertain position there for the Bears. I've got pick number 21 for the AFC South rival Indianapolis Colts. Eric has another pick coming up soon for another rival. So back-to-back team rival picks here for us.
Will Zach snipe him again?
I don't know.
Please don't, man.
So I think, the Colts, I don't think the Colts have a ton of needs. They have good players at every position, but so with that being said, I think I'm going to take, in my opinion, let me just do a double take here.
Best available.
Yeah, best available, just good, solid person for them. I'm going to take Caleb Farley, the cornerback from Virginia Tech. They can definitely use him. They can use corner help. And I know he has a little bit of an injury issue that made him slide down a bit, but before that, he was considered by some to be the top corner in the draft. So I think the Colts can get good value here with Farley. Might be a little bit early on some people's mocks, but I like Farley quite a bit.
Well, I don't know if you sniped Eric or not, but you definitely sniped me.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy thing is, Nate actually was kind of the one that sniped me that time, but that's 2 picks, so not as big of a snipe, but I had my eye there. So I've got the Tennessee Titans here, and I'm in a little bit of a tough scenario with them, but I mean, really what they probably should do is just trade this pick for a 6th rounder or something. I'm just kidding. You always got to throw my is on the AFC South rivals. No, but looking at the Titans, they do have some needs. They're still a pretty good team, but they need help at the skill positions, both offensively and defensively. So it's kind of hard to decide where exactly to go here. And I do have to admit, as not as big of a college football watcher of these guys, I'm getting to where I'm not going to be quite as familiar with some of these people. But so I am going to go with wide receiver here, I believe, and looking at who's available. Let me make sure didn't miss anything. Okay, I am going to go with.
Man, this is obviously at pick 2 and took Zach Wilson earlier in the draft. So you have the quarterback now. You have another first-round pick. What will pick 23 be?
Well, even though we got our quarterback, the Jets obviously still need a lot of stuff on this team. Even if Marshall had been here, I wouldn't have taken a wide receiver. There's a lot of wide receivers available. They could certainly use another one. They need help on the offensive line, but I don't think there's anyone really worth taking at this point here. So we're going to go to the defensive side of the ball. And another need for them, I guess I could say everything's a need, but another need for them is edge rusher. And I know that he is number 4 on our list, but according to Daniel Jeremiah, he is the second best edge rusher in the draft class, and that is going to be Gregory Rousseau going to the New York Jets.
All right, yeah. Rousseau, I see all over the place. He was at one point a top 10 pick. I've seen sometimes out of the first round, but around here I think is a realistic spot for him. Hopefully I spelled that name right.
I think you did.
Okay, cool. My spelling's not very good. But
I mean, some of these people have interesting names. So.
Yeah, you're right. We have pick number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're definitely going to get Connor's reaction to this, as Nate is in charge of this selection. So Nate,
don't screw it up.
Yeah, no pressure, Nate.
Yeah.
How's it going to be here?
Yeah, I hope they don't mess this up. Yeah. So, there's a couple spots the Steelers should go. Obviously their picking at 24, so it's not like they were bad last year. You know, they don't have like needs. I would say like some of these other teams do. So I'm kind of gonna go with the best, sort of the best available slash kind of a somewhat need after recent days after James Conner signed away from another team. I'm gonna go with Travis Etienne here and get them. In my opinion, the best running back. You could either go him or Najee Harris here, but I like Etienne a little bit better as the top running back in the class and kind of get them a playmaker there.
All right, so we have to go to Connor now. Obviously, running backs in the first round are a very controversial topic, but obviously that's a need for the Steelers. So what do you think with this pick?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, in my opinion, I mean, if we could wait to the second round, I would, but obviously we're going to be late in the second round, so I know, Etienne and Najee Harris are probably going to be gone. We probably have a bigger need at offensive line, but there's no offensive linemen that are worth taking at this spot here. So I am very happy with the pick of Travis Etienne because, the run game was obviously what killed us. I mean, and Nate's right. You really could go between Etienne and Najee Harris. They're definitely different styles of running back. Najee Harris is definitely a downhill Derrick Henry sort of type of running back, whereas Etienne is more versatile. I'm not sure really which one of them. In my opinion, I think Harris would fit into our system better. But I'm not going to be mad with Etienne either. Like I said, they're pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, I feel like it's flip or flop between the two of them. But like you said, they are very different types of running backs. Like Derrick Henry, with Najee Harris, and then more like Alvin Kamara be Etienne's comparison. But I am picking at pick number 25 now for the Jaguars. So it just happened to be where I get both Jaguar picks. Obviously, pick one, they got Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to need Eric's approval after this one, even though
I'll let you know.
All right. So, so I was actually really glad that when Eric took Terrace Marshall, because I'm going to go ahead and take Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver from Florida. He's who I really want at this spot at 25. I had this as a plan coming into this to pick Toney at 25. You could say tight end is a bigger need. You could say tackle maybe, or somewhere on defense. But I think with Urban Meyer and what he's been saying, they really want speed. And Toney has electric speed. And that's really the thing that this wide receiver group is missing. They have a lot of tall guys like Colin Johnson, DJ Chark, but thank you for correcting that spelling there. I knew that looked weird. But yeah. So Kadarius Toney, fast, super speedy, quick wide receiver. Eric, are you a fan of this? And also too, I don't know, it's an unwritten law, but it's a law. The Jaguars have to take a Florida player in the first round at least every 2 years. They took one last year, so they're getting ahead of themselves. But it seems like they take a first round Florida Gator player in every other year in the draft. And this would fit that. But Eric, do you like this? Is this what you would do, or fan?
Yeah, I mean, if he is truly the best available player at this point, then I'm definitely for it. I mean, like you said, we definitely have other needs. Obviously, we're one of the teams with the most needs in the whole NFL. So, but at the same time, we can always use another wide receiver. That's always great. So unless there was an outstanding talent available at another position of need, then I'd rather do that. But otherwise, I'm totally okay with this. Getting Trevor Lawrence another weapon, you can't go wrong with that.
All right. Glad I made you happy there.
You did. Even though he's a Gator. Sorry, Alan.
Yeah. All right. Pick number 26 now is going to the Cleveland Browns. And Eric, you have this pick. So hopefully I didn't snipe the guy you wanted there for 26. But
even though I swear Zach listened to my analysis of all the teams. Like I'm getting every team.
I know you said the receiver was a need for the Browns.
Yeah, I because pretty much every team I'm not all of them, but a good chunk of the teams I'm drafting for, I had for the team needs special. So, and Cleveland being one of them. But so there was a guy I was going to draft earlier for the Dolphins, but I didn't. But I am going to draft him now. I think that it's a better value at this point, and with the Browns not having as that many needs compared to a lot of these other teams, I think they can take a flyer on him. I'm going to take Jalen Phillips out of Miami for the Cleveland Browns to get another pass rusher opposite of Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and Clowney's only on a 1-year deal as well, and he's a journeyman now, so he'll be leaving them after this year. He'll be back on our free agent list. You know it. We all know it's going to happen.
We're all four going to have a different team on where he's going to go, and none of them are going to be right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you got him right this year, Eric. And
that's true.
Funny enough, actually, last year a lot of us got him right with the Titans, even though it took forever for him to sign.
That's true. I
think some people had him to the Giants, so. Yeah, maybe he'll go to the Giants.
I know Zach and I had him to the Titans. I don't know about Eric and Nate, but
okay. So now this is going to be interesting. Some of us have picked for our rivals. Connor, you're about to do the same here. Make this 27th pick for the Baltimore Ravens. No trades.
Yeah, trading down for a 6th-round pick.
Actually, I want to trade it for a ham sandwich, but well, I will say. I know who I want to take. I was between two guys. Eric took one of the two with Jalen Phillips. So, because obviously the Ravens, they lost Matthew Judon, they lost Yannick Ngakoue. This is a team that's in desperate need of a wide receiver, but obviously with, the top 6 receivers being off the list, I mean, I don't really think it would be a value here for me to take Rondale Moore. So, but if I am the Steelers or a Steelers fan watching this, I would be pretty upset if this guy managed to fall all the way to the Ravens, because it is amazing to me that I feel like he's kind of been forgotten. The fact that he's still on the board right here, because he is one of the highest rated players in the draft, and he is still here. He's a linebacker. And that is going to be Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame that I'm going to take at this spot. So,
that name is a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast.
All right, so Jeremiah Owusu, J-O-K, that's what people say to make it easier. So J-O-K goes to 27 with the Ravens. Nate, you have pick number 28 with the New Orleans Saints. So I'm really interested to see what you do with this pick here.
Yeah, so now I'm kind of in the same boat as Eric. I just got sniped a little bit by Connor here. I was going to go linebacker for the Saints. I think I still might. I was looking at the names that are here. Yeah, I think I don't know a whole lot about the top guy on our list here is Nick Bolton from Mizzou. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I don't know. I think if I'm the Saints, I'll definitely go.
I watched him play. He's I would say he's a guy that he's in this spot because he's an overachiever. Like he's like a playmaker. I wouldn't say he's like, you wouldn't think of him as a great prospect, but he just makes a lot of plays for Missouri. Lots of tackles, big time tackler. So that's my insight on Bolton for you guys.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sounds good, and I think that New Orleans should probably go defense side of the ball still, because basically all the wide receivers worth picking, and all those weapons are off the table. So I think this is where they'd end up anyways.
All right, so we are down to the final 4 picks for all of us tonight. And I've got the Green Bay Packers at pick 29. I think I know what I'm going to be doing with this pick. Going to do a double check, make sure. Yeah, so the Packers, they don't have a ton of needs, but I feel like now you're taking, you're obviously taking best player available. I'm going to go tackle Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma. He's been climbing up the draft board.
Zach sniping me again.
You sniped me more.
I'm 2 picks from Connor, so it's a little bit less of a snipe. Because I was thinking JOK also at this for the Packers, but yeah, you can't go wrong with taking offensive line. So Aaron Rodgers will get more protection. Their offensive line last year had a ton of injuries, so he can step in and fill a spot there for him, instant starter. Now at pick 30, Eric, you are picking for the Buffalo Bills.
All right, so I am going to give Josh Allen a little more help. The Bills running game last year, they've got some good players, it seems like Singletary and Moss. It seems like on paper they look good, but they haven't produced super great. So I'm going to take Najee Harris, another Alabama pick, for me here, and give the Bills a boost in that running game.
All right, and now we are down to the 2 Super Bowl teams, Kansas City and Tampa Bay. I definitely now, I'm looking at it now after I made that pick. I definitely see why Connor said I sniped him there. So Connor, you're picking for Kansas City at 31. Now that Jenkins was picked, what's it going to be like for KC?
Well, I will say that even though you took the offensive lineman that I wanted, offensive line is definitely still a big need for this team. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl. Obviously Patrick Mahomes was running for his life, and obviously both Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher have left in free agency. So I am actually going to go with, this is a guy who's actually not on our board, but he's been linked to the Chiefs in a couple mock drafts that I've seen, and that is going to be Liam Eichenberg, an offensive tackle from Notre Dame.
Yeah, he was in Jeremiah's top 50. I just deleted him from the stuff, but yeah, I could definitely see that happening as a tackle, big strong tackle. He's fallen down the boards a little bit. I remember at one point I'd seen him up in like the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 range, but definitely a possibility for KC. And the last pick in the first round for this mock draft goes to Nate with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we were making jokes about how few needs they have, but with this 32nd pick, Nate, what are the Buccaneers going to add to their team?
Yeah, so obviously all 22 starters are coming back from last year, so they don't have any holes to fill. But I do think that one spot they could always add some juice at is D-line. Ndamukong Suh and JPP are both getting up there in age, and they played well last year, but I think they could definitely use some help. So with this pick, I think the Bucs should go with Levi Onwuzurike. I hope that was close enough.
Onwuzurike.
I had to stop and sound it out real quick, but
Perrin,
yeah, I think that's probably the one place that they could.
I was gonna say Perrin, some Washington D linemen together, right? Didn't Vita Vea go to Washington?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, yeah. So
Yep,
that's gonna be interesting.
Nice duo there.
All right, guys. Yeah, so there you have it. That is our mock draft 1.0 with no trades. Let's go ahead and just review it. In case we'll just quickly review it. I will tell you guys the top 10 picks. So at number 1, I had the Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence, obviously. Number 2, the Jets taking Zach Wilson. At number 3, Connor had, where the draft really started, he had Justin Fields going to the 49ers. Then at pick number 4, Nate takes Kyle Pitts to the Atlanta Falcons. I go ahead and follow that up with I'm blanking now on his first name. God, what is it? Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell to Cincinnati at number 5. At number 6, Devontae Smith goes to Miami. At number 7, Jalen Waddle to the Detroit Lions. Number 8, Jamar Chase going to the Carolina Panthers that run on receivers. At number 9, Mac Jones going to the Denver Broncos. And at pick 10, Patrick Surtain going to the Dallas Cowboys. Eric, I'll let you take over and say these next 10 picks.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I wasn't even...
Are you ready, or do you want me to do it?
you go ahead.
I mean, I'll do it.
Okay, Connor can announce these next 10.
Yeah, so then at the 11th pick, I had the Giants taking Micah Parsons. Then Nate went ahead and had the Eagles taking J.C. Horn at number 12. Zach followed that up by taking Rashawn Slater with the LA Chargers. Eric came back with his must-have offensive line pick for the Vikings, taking Christian Darrisaw. I then took the last quarterback, well, not the last quarterback overall, but the last top 5 quarterback in the draft with the Patriots with Trey Lance. Nate had Arizona taking Elijah Vera-Tucker, the offensive guard. Zach had Las Vegas taking Kwity Paye from Michigan, the edge rusher. Then Eric followed it up with Azeez Ojulari, the edge rusher, following that. Zach kind of sniped him on that pick. Then I had Washington taking Zaven Collins, the linebacker from Tulsa. And then Nate followed it up by taking, I can't remember his first name now. Is it Christian Bateman?
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Bateman
okay.
going to the Chicago Bears to pair with Allen Robinson.
All right, and then I'll announce the last 10 here, or last 12. So at pick 21 for the Indianapolis Colts, I had them taking corner Caleb Farley. At pick 22, Eric had Tennessee Titans taking Terrace Marshall, wide receiver out of LSU. Then at 23, the Jets, with their second first-round pick, take Gregory Rousseau from Miami. And then at 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers go running back with Travis Etienne. At 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with their second first-round pick, go with Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. Then Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher from Miami, goes at pick 26 to Cleveland. And then J.O.K. goes at pick 27 to Baltimore. At pick 28, Nick Bolton, the linebacker from Missouri, goes to the New Orleans Saints. Tevin Jenkins, the offensive tackle, goes to Green Bay at pick 29. Running back Najee Harris to the Buffalo Bills at pick 30. Liam Eichenberg, tackle from Michigan, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs at pick 31. And then Notre Dame. And then at pick 32, the final pick in the first round, Nate has Onwuzurike going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their defensive line. So there you have it, guys. All 32 picks in our mock draft 1.0. This was a lot of fun to do. And next week we will have a new order, a new pick order, as well as trade. So that's going to make things real interesting. We should. I expect that there's going to be a lot of trades. I've already said pick number 1 is a lock position. No trades to pick number 1. I think that's why Connor's laughing, right?
Well, I don't know if I end up with. We discussed that. If I end up with pick number 1, I asked you how mad you'd be if I tried.
All right, fine, Eric. Pick. You're going to get pick number 1. Eric, I trust you.
I don't know, man. I was listening to some other podcasts, and apparently, Trevor Lawrence's heart may not be all in. So can you trust me?
No, don't worry, Zach. I won't trade that pick. That would be absurd.
Okay. All right, that's gonna wrap this up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to this, and hopefully this is a fun mock draft for you to follow along with. And until then, guys, remember, be clutch.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace.